Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Back in my day, we had chores and a curfew time. Now folks got opinions and not a lick of common sense. Bless them, they try. How's your mama and 'em? Hey, y'all. Come on, let's unwind. I'm Crystal, your Gen X gal. Telling the truth, your mama's too polite to say.
Welcome back to How's Your Mama M, the only podcast hosted by a Gen X countrywoman who survived dial-up internet, metal playground slides, and parents who believed in whoopins and chores. I'm your host, Crystal, the girl who grew up on fried bologna, Kool-Aid, and minding her damn business.
Well, hey, y'all. If you hear a little rattling, don't worry. That's just my patience falling apart again. Let me tell you what I found in every drawer of every house I grew up in. A mason jar. Not just for jam or moonshine, for nails, for loose buttons, for coin collections, for random things you'll need if the app goes down. And between you and me, I'd take a mason jar over Wi-Fi any day when the plumbing's blowing up. Why? Because duct tape don't need a password, and neither does common sense.
Back in my day, we didn't have anxiety. We had chores. We learned to fix things because there wasn't an Uber repair person for every small crisis. You learn a lot by turning a wrench with a sunburn on your neck and a sibling behind you yelling, "Hurry up, Mom's calling supper." We entertained ourselves with sticks, bikes, and imaginary worlds that required no subscription. If a tire went flat, we patched it with whatever we had. A bit of gum, a bit of stubbornness, and a figure-it-out stare that worked wonders. And manners? Well, we were raised to mind our elders and our business. And if we forgot, there was usually a hose nearby to remind us. Let me open the toolbox of a country kit for y'all. Rule number 1, duct tape. If it moves and shouldn't, if it squeaks, if it's leaking, slap some duct tape on it. My mama could wrap a broken table leg with tape, and 3 days later it still held the Bible, the casserole dish, and Cousin Earl's sadness after losing at checkers. Rule 2, rope. Never underestimate a length of rope and a willingness to tie your pride into a knot. Rope secures gates, holds tarps down in wind, and can make a swing out of literally nothing. Rule 3, hoses. For watering gardens, for washing the dog, and for reminding teenagers that the party's over. We also kept a little hope and a lot of gumption. And yes, a mason jar for nails. Practicality over perfection, always. Now for a little modern versus old school love. These days, folks can live stream a how-to and get 1,000 opinions in 5 minutes, which is great until half those opinions contradict each other and you want to throw your phone in the creek. When my heater sputtered once, I didn't scroll. I shoved a towel under the door, I found the breaker, and I called my uncle, who'd fixed worse things with a hammer and a cup of black coffee. Some problems still prefer elbow grease and a good grumpy neighbor who knows your name. That said, tech has its perks. I'll text you a recipe or FaceTime your cousin at Thanksgiving. But there's a sweet spot where a paper towel and a little common sense beat a 3-hour tutorial. So when the world's doing too much, remember, the fastest fix is often the simplest one. All right, story time. This is the one that went sideways and became a family legend. Picture me, 16, pride bigger than my toolbox, and a busted lawnmower that needed one little thing. My cousin swore we could fix it quicker than it took to go get parts. 45 minutes later, we had 2 wheels, 1 handle, and a hose tied with duct tape to the carburetor. "It'll run," he says, beaming like a fool. I kick it, and this contraption coughs, sneezes, and launches itself backward, slammed my good shoe into the fence, sent the neighbor's potted geraniums sailing like a red comet, and me on my tail in the grass. We got it running all right, for about 3 feet, and then it just gave up with dignity none. Mama came out, looked at the pile of carts, and said, "Check on your mama and them, and if they actin' up, don't tell 'em I said nothin'." We learned to laugh, we learned to call the real mechanic the next day, and we learned not to duct tape a hose to a carburetor. Safety aside, know your limits, y'all. There's a difference between creative fixing and asking for a trip to the ER.
So here's 3 rules to keep your cool when life's messy. No sugarcoating, just straight country sense. Rule 1, prioritize the problem. Find the thing that's actually on fire and deal with that before you ghost the rest of your life. Rule 2, MacGyver the small stuff, but know when to call the pros. Duct tape is a bandage, not a cure. If it risks your safety or your paycheck, call the person with paperwork and a ladder. Rule 3. Keep your humor and your water bottle handy. If you can laugh about it later and you ain't dying of thirst, you'll be just fine. These rules get you through backyard catastrophes and family drama with fewer regrets and less scrubbing later.
Quick bits before we go. If you grew up country, you know a mason jar is a lidless miracle. If you didn't, buy one and you'll see. Bless their heart. Folks who try to fix a dishwasher with a wrench and optimism deserve a parade and a plumber. And if your teenager says they can handle the job, remember, they handled a Tamagotchi for 2 weeks. Don't sell them too hard on being an appliance whisperer. Also, a little PSA. Duct tape won't file your taxes, won't soothe a broken heart, but it'll make the table usable long enough to eat supper and talk it out. Recap time. Keep a mason jar, respect duct tape, but respect safety more, and learn the 3 rules. Prioritize, MacGyver smartly, and keep your humor close. If you walk away with nothing else, remember, you can't fix stupid, but you can mute it. If this little toolbox of stories and rules helped you smile at your next small disaster, then I've done my job. Now do me a favor. Subscribe so you don't miss next week when I teach y'all how to make a casserole out of leftovers and old grudges. Check on your mama and 'em, and if they actin' up, don't tell 'em I said nothing. All right, I'm clocking out emotionally.
I'm Crystal, and this has been How's Ya Mama and Em. Love y'all. Mean it. Bye now.